When I started the Picks and Pizza Gambling podcast, I decided, I really like doing a show with Anthony Guerra. Grew up in the New York area, came down here, is a Carolina grad, is totally into ACC sports, likes the NFL, likes the Jets. And then I started a podcast, and you've been on it now. This is your second time.
Joe, we're going to make it a regular thing now. Now it's in the books. Right, now it's in the books. It's on the calendar.
We're on the calendar. We're on the schedule. And in fairness to you, the NFL does start this week. And that was what we had primarily talked about. And we wanted to do it on Thursday, a little bit later in the week, to make sure that we were on your schedule, because I have more flexibility than you do.
I got 3 kids, and my wife is more demanding than the retaurant is.
And you have that as well. So, yes, all good. We're clear on all fronts there.
We were traveling too. U.S. Open for the kid. The kids went to the U.S. Open.
Okay, so this is a gambling podcast, and I would like for you to explain to people how glorious it was to be in the state of New York, to be at the U.S. Open tennis, to be able to sit there at courtside, open up your phone, and be like,
light it up.
I think this person's going to win. I think this person's going to lose. I am now going to gamble on it.
And the lines shift with you. The only advantage you have as a gambler is that live line shifting is everything. And if you're courtside, you have that sight advantage that the numbers or the casinos can't keep up with.
Yeah, because
you have a subtle advantage. And I mean, being at the U.S. Open, listen, I bet Sablanka early. She's obviously a huge favorite. The money wasn't great, but it pays because
a win's a win.
A win's a win.
Something that people need to remember. Sometimes we get seduced by the juice.
Yes.
And we'll talk a little about that when we get into the Jets pick this week. Sometimes you can be seduced by the juice when really you just want to win. The whole point in gambling is to win.
100%. And at U.S. Open, by the way, it is smoking hot up there. If anyone is gambling, I was in Arthur Ashe, 7:30 at night. I work in a commercial kitchen. It was hotter and more humid in the damn arena than it was in my kitchen. And Oakwood Pizza Box is way too hot in the summer in general. The oven does not help. The hood doesn't help. All of it together. I'd rather be sitting there watching tennis than Arthur Ashe. It was too hot. They need to close the roof, turn the AC on. But if you're gambling, bet big serves. Big serves will win.
All right. So Anthony Guerra, Oakwood Pizza Box is here. We are going to get into our NFL picks. And this is how I want to do this year on Picks and Pizza. Okay.
So
we're going to pick a lock of the week, one game that we like. We're going to do a prop of the week, one of the player props that we like from the week. And then every single week we will pick the Jets game, whoever they're playing. That doesn't mean we will pick the Jets. As a Jets fan, though, we were going to concentrate on the Jets this year in Aaron. So we'll get this thing every week. Now we're going to keep score. Of course, we're going to keep our records.
Oh, shit.
We need to decide what the punishment is going to be. Like, I feel like it might be too easy for you to have me like wash dishes, right?
We always need a dishwasher.
I know. It might be helpful.
To be fair,
it might be helpful. Useful. Okay.
I am staring at a bunch of bourbon from the great Ken's library. I mean, maybe you want to put a little bottle of whiskey on this? You want to put a nice bottle?
You have quite a collection yourself. So that would be something that would. How about that? If you win, right?
Okay.
You get your choice of the bourbon.
Okay.
Okay. If I win, I get a menu item named for the OG.
Oh wow!
I get a pizza. I get a pizza on the menu named for the OG.
Wow! All right. We'll get it.
No. That was not a hard commitment.
How about on the digital menu? The paper menu, I hate changing.
You've already printed those. That's fine.
Digital menu. Yes, fine.
Okay.
We could do the Joe Julius special.
The Joe Julius.
The Joe Julius.
Yes.
As Roger likes to call it.
Yes. We're going to get Roger in here to do some lyrics for the OG mixtape. I can't wait.
Legendary guy.
All right. That's your pizza guy.
100%.
You're my pizza guy, but you as a pizza guy, you're your own pizza guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So each week, I'm going to put it out on the Twitters. I want a question for Anthony, the pizza guy, as I refer to you, the Pizza Czar of Raleigh. Now, Joe Ovius is the technical person of this program, but believe it or not, I believe I know how to do this. So let's do this. We're going to share the screen. Let's make sure there's nothing bad on there. I don't think there is, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So the question came this week from my friend, Steve Young. He wants to know, how did you settle on your store hours?
Oh, God. They're probably going to change again, to be honest. A lot of it's based.
So right now, you're open Wednesday through Sunday.
At night.
at night.
Yep.
And then you're open for lunch on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
Okay.
Originally, the origin story, the OG of this, the origin is that my wife worked. We had a daughter, Vivian. She was with me all day long because we couldn't afford daycare.
Mm-hmm.
So I would prep and babysit and be a dad and be try to be the only restaurant prep cook / dishwasher. And
because you had to make the pizza balls.
Oh,
the dough balls.
Everything. Dough, sauce, cheese, mushrooms, sliced pepperonis, cook-off sausage, everything. And that we would do that around, I would do that around Vivian's sleep schedule. And my wife she worked at RTP. She would drive to the restaurant, pick up Viv, take her out, and then we would open at 5.
So there was a point there.
Yeah. That's how it started.
Hours.
Literally.
Okay.
Yeah. Literally. That's how it started. And to be completely honest with you, it kind of works. And the side effect is that we have one crew right now. Roger and Luigi are in there all the time with me. 3 of us handle the lion's share of the work in the kitchen. And then we have some other key players around us, but it's a livable schedule for them and for me. And we sell a bunch of pizza and we go home. We could do more, but I think having more would be, it's really difficult to staff.
I was going to say the most difficult part about all of this that's probably come post-pandemic.
Oh God.
Is trying, and I'm not like, this isn't like, let's blame the youths or something. This is like legitimate.
Yes.
Trying to get people, not only that you trust, but people that are good.
Yes.
And you're making 400, you're making 350 pizza dough balls a day.
Yep.
And they're not going to waste.
No, hopefully not. No, no. And we do, in those hours on like I say a Friday, I get this a lot. On a Friday night, we are literally doing 400 pizzas. Each pizza, if you just count the dough ball, each dough ball is about 1.5 pounds. I mean, just think of the tonnage of stuff that we're moving through processing and processing at the level that we're trying to hit. It's very tricky. The work is very, very detailed. It's not nearly as easy as people think it is. And the people who make it are far more skilled than I think people give them credit for. Roger.
Yeah, Roger's worth his weight in gold to you.
Oh, he's great. Edmundo's been in the oven. He's worked with me for 12 years. 12 years we've worked together. He's worked my ovens with me forever. That guy's a legend. They don't just, you can't just hire that. Like, oh, hire another one and just put them on Mondays.
That's not a let's go to Indeed and find somebody off the street. There's a level of trust there too.
100%. We have a job posting right now for front of house on Indeed. And I mean, the candidates, it's tough, man. It's tough. I would love to be open all the time and have the pizza be exactly the same all the time. But it's just in the real world, in my experience, it's not possible. And I'm not looking to burn any of the guys out. I mean,
plus you are actually getting 2 days off a week right now or no?
No, I work every Tuesday. So I work 6 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
My guys for the most part never work. Nobody ever works.
Yeah, clarify now.
6. Nobody ever works more than 6 days. Rarely do any of them work more than 50 hours. And I mean, I think that's the key to longevity. I think when you start taking kitchen guys and moving them into the 7 days a week lunch dinner thing that McDonald's has made everyone accustomed to, you just got to get used to turnover. And for me to turn over is not something, that's not a cost I want to pay.
I think I can answer a question. I think you just answered my next question, but there's been long rumors of a second Oakwood Pizza Box location.
Yeah.
Including one there on Glenwood, including maybe one off a Dixie Trail at a rather famous NC State spot. Where does the quest for like a potential drive-in, maybe a bigger location, dining room situation that maybe you would like or have a vision for?
We talk about it all the time. My wife and I talk about it all the time. Roger and I talk about it all the time. Luigi and I talk about it all the time. We're always looking. And I mean, honestly, I am keenly aware of how hard it is to get pizza at Oakwood Pizza Box, especially during peak hours. And I don't like it. I wish it was easier. I need more oven capacity. I need more space. Having a few more tables would not hurt. I mean, I always joke with my dad up in New York. I'm like, I don't know if you'd ever go to Oakwood Pizza Box. It's so hard to bring us in. I'm one of 4 kids. I mean, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
That always, I mean, emotionally, that affects me. I don't have any interest in becoming some sort of pizza magnet and opening up around the world and doing a whole bunch of things. I just want to do something really well.
It would just be more of something where you would be able to bring people. I know you've talked before about a drive-through. Obviously, that helps.
Yeah, it's something just to make it more convenient. I mean, I think we can make.
But the one on person, the location we all know and love, wouldn't go anywhere. That would just become more of a classic New York pizza. You come in, you get the pizza, you get out.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. I mean, my oldest daughter, we picked this up. It's a Japanese tradition, and I'm sure they practice it other places. But the eldest child always gets the first store in a restaurant family.
Okay.
So it's Vivian's. It's 100% Vivian's.
Well, she was there in the seat. So.
Yeah, she was there the whole way. So she actually had a conversation with me because we were looking at a different real estate thing that didn't work out. But she said, "Well, what's going to happen to my pizza box?" And, that's the way we look at it, though, and that's the way I look at it. So, no, I hope we never have to move. I don't want to. I don't want to move, but having another location, certainly we need another oven to keep pizzas moving correctly and with the right heat and the right cook time and be more efficient.
That kind of sort of felt like an ad for Oakwood Pizza Box, but I still have obligations to you to to play an ad here. So Oakwood Pizza Box, oakwoodpizzabox.com. Order online. That is your best way for sure. Or come in during lunch.
Yes.
Friday lunch is my spot. Like, in case you ever want to see me, or Ken, the infamous Ken, the world famous Ken. He's not infamous, he's world famous.
Oh, world famous.
You come in and you check us out during lunch. But weekends are chill. Weekend lunch, chill. But yeah, you gotta be ready. Your expectations need to be ready at nighttime.
Nighttime is wild. Nighttime's wild. Wednesday, Thursday would be my advice here if I were to give advice out. If you want to come at night, come Wednesday, come Thursday. It's the same guys in the kitchen. It's the same pizza. It's just better and quicker.
And you're ready for OG Pizza Night, which we have coming up in 11 days.
Oh, yeah. I like that. I like that. No, a little Monday Night Football. I like this. We got 2 games that day, right?
We do. We have some second screen issues. So if I need to bring in another TV, you let me know.
Yeah, we got to figure that out.
Okay.
We definitely have to figure that out.
Perfect. We're on it. We have a login for the Sunday ticket as well.
Oh, I have one login.
No. Don't say that on the air.
Oh, yeah. No. For the house.
For your home.
Yeah,
yes.
For my home. Google, it's for my home.
Yeah, don't get that wrong. We're not getting anybody in trouble on this podcast. No. You have the one TV above your little pizza station there, above the bar. So we'll just have to bring another one in so that we can. I think it's the Browns play that night. So we had a Browns fan. You got to respect Browns fans, man. As a Jets fan, you have to respect Browns fans.
Do they still exist?
They do.
They're in the wild.
They're waiting just like you are. Well, you have one going back to 69.
Oh, man.
But you still have one. The Browns don't even have a Super Bowl appearance. So yeah, I'm excited for OG Pizza Night. And again, if you want to go to Oakwood, all you got to do, order online or go in Wednesdays and Thursdays, or you can catch me at lunch on Fridays at the counter for sure. Ice cold Narragansett, even if the pizza stunk, which obviously doesn't, then the Narragansett itself is worth being there for.
I would be there for Ken. I mean, Ken drops more ACC financial knowledge than anybody. I mean, he's like a Woj bomb waiting to happen over there. You'll find out what's about to happen from Ken at the bar about a month before it'll drop.
Normally, this is the spot on Picks and Pizza where we'll get some fantasy advice from the king, Riley Dunn, Groove Wagon. Riley couldn't make it this week, but he'll be out at Hopscotch this weekend. You can get your Magnificos, get your seltzers there, the little alcohol alternatives. They'll just chill you out, little Delta 8, chill you out ever so slightly. Riley, in addition to being a genius in fantasy, knows what he's doing when it comes to Groove Wagon. Check out their stuff at thatdamnwagon.com. It's thatdamnwagon.com. Can't miss it. Great stuff. And they'll be out at Hopscotch this weekend. Also, he says big shouts to Whit Baker. In addition to Groove Wagon being carried at AF, they're at Bond Brothers and Standard. So And he says, remember for week 1 in the NFL, be willing to pick more underdogs against the spread than you usually would. Historically, that's been a profitable call. So can't wait for the King to be back next week. Wishing him well with his family. I know he'll be out there this weekend. I know he'll be back on Picks and Pizza. In the interim, check out Groove Wagon either online at thatdamnwagon.com or any of the spots that they're available, including that Butcher's Market in Wake Forest. All right, let's get to the reason why we're here. Besides the pizza, let's get to the picks portion. We have the first week of the NFL season. So let's go with our lock of the week. I'm going to let you start. I'm going to pull up the odds here from the Action Network. If you're new to gambling, you're trying to figure this out, it's going to be legalized in January. Shop around. There's going to be introductory offers at all of the different sites that offer you. But once you get it on your phone, it really is going to make a big difference. One thing I do like to do, though, I do like to go to the Action Network, and you're going to see why here in a second, because they give you all of the different odds and the different lines from each of the different sites that offer the online bets. So let me see if I can get that offer off of there. And here we are. We'll zoom in a little bit. All right. So you're going to go with tonight's game right off the bat. Chiefs are at home Super Bowl champs. This is a game that traditionally has been the Super Bowl champ raises the banner. They also win the football game. You see the line movement. This was 6.5. It's now 4.5 because there are serious questions about the availability of tight end Travis Kelce tonight for the Chiefs. But does that matter to you?
No.
Okay.
No, they got Andy Reid. Andy Reid's the best in the business. Patty Mahomes, best in the business. And I don't understand. And listen, I need the Lions to show me something. I don't understand the Lions hype in general. They are getting flowers for the offseason. Dan Campbell.
Because of the way they finished the year last year.
I love Dan Campbell. Great guy.
Yeah.
You got to win some games, bro.
They did last year.
Yeah, I know, but you got to win. You got to go into Arrowhead and beat the Super Bowl champs. Jared Goff's not that guy. He's a really good average quarterback. Give me the Chiefs. Give me Andy Reid, best in the game. And also the continuity. The Chiefs, it doesn't matter who plays for that offense. They're going to be wide open.
All right. This is a little bit of a risk. I do like the line movement. I do like that 4.5 number for those who are new to gambling. So you'll see that there's a number below the lines. There's plus 4.5. That's the spread of this game. That means that means the Chiefs have to win by more than 4 points. Okay. The number you see underneath that minus 105 means you bet $105 to win 100. You'll notice that it's minus 105, which means that they're asking you to take the Lions there because the juice is less. Also means it's probably going to pop back to 5 here. They could be maybe anticipating Kelce coming back. I'm not sure. In general, a player can only move a line by 1 total point, and it usually has to be the quarterback. It's usually not a Travis Kelce, but you can see how sharp the NFL, these guys, the Vegas is on the NFL. That is the one thing I will caution everyone out there right now. The next segment, we're going to make a pick about a prop bet. You're more likely to have success in the NFL with individual player props than you are picking games, because this multi-billion-dollar industry was built on these guys knowing exactly what their business is. And you can make some money on the SWAC. You can make some money on some MEAC basketball. You're not cutting any corners when it comes to NFL gambling. So I'm just gonna put that out there for you right now. This is really difficult to do. And as always, bet what you can afford to lose. All right, so you got the Chiefs, you got Mahomes tonight. I am actually going to take the team that I am picking to win the Super Bowl this week. For my lock of the week, I am going to take the San Francisco 49ers. That number's down to -2. They're at the Steelers. For me, this is strictly let me bet against Matt Canada. Every chance I can get, I'm betting against Matt Canada, who's still calling the plays for the Steelers. I don't make millions of dollars a year, and I know what plays Matt Canada is going to call. I can anticipate that. So the people who run the 49ers defense and their coaching staff, I have great confidence that they can figure out what Matt Canada wants to do. And if you don't know, there will be a jet sweep. There will be a screen to like the third string tight end, not Freiermuth, but the third string tight end will get a screen early on the first series. And then ultimately there'll be too many runs on first down and too many passes on the wrong downs.
Is there a prop bet on the third string tight end yards?
You probably could. So I'm going Niners -2 is the best number here. So give me the Niners. I don't like taking road favorites in general in the NFL. And obviously Mike Tomlin's a great coach. I do not believe, though, in Kenny Pickett. Like, he is not Joe Burrow part 2. I think he's just probably a replacement level quarterback.
A Chad Pennington level guy. You got him.
Pennington had his moments, though.
He did.
I will say.
He almost killed about 5 receivers for the Jets with the soft passes over the middle. Do you think Joey Bosa plays and plays well?
I am not worried about Bosa. He signed. We saw this actually with
happy, right?
We saw this actually with TJ Watt, where when he signed before the 21 season, he came in and he was 2 sacks in his first game after not practicing. So not worried about Joey Bosa. This is more the only thing I worry about with the Niners for real, because I went to it was Connecticut when Josh Goodson, who'll be joining us soon, went to Connecticut. He put down a Super Bowl bet for me. I got the Niners at 11-1. That's so my only thing I'm worried about is McCaffrey being healthy. That's all predicated on McCaffrey and Brock Purdy being healthy this season.
Why, you don't believe in Sam Darnold?
I do not.
Wait, there was some. Now, Steve Young did ask about the hours. There was some Steve Young murmurings and the great Sam Darnold. You don't believe in that?
No, sir. That is a FUBAR situation. If anytime Sam Darnold gets in, it is beyond all recognition. So let's get to our player props, because I do think this is where some people can make some money. Now, if you're unfamiliar with player props, it is like, so we'll take yours, for example. You got Bryce Young, rookie quarterback, making his first NFL start. So you can now bet on the over-under. You can bet on his rushing yardage. You can bet on the number of touchdowns he will throw. You can bet on the over-under on his passing total. Okay. But you're picking interceptions, which is actually at a half, meaning you're basically betting, will Bryce Young throw an interception in his first NFL start?
At 5'9" with Frank Reich as his quarterback and the targets there. Yeah. Give me some money here.
Okay. Now this is shaded at -140, which means they think it's likely going to happen that he's going to throw an interception. That's fine. When you're right, it's more important to be right than get the juice right.
100%.
The juice can scare people. Don't let the juice scare you. -140, if you think about it, you're paying $30 over a standard bet, which is -110.
How could they?
But if it's right, you get the 100 back.
How could he play in a whole game? I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I think this one is just take the money here. Rookies can't. The difference between an NFL game and what he saw at Alabama is enormous.
I am going to go Russell Wilson. I'm going to go against you because I don't think you think Russ is on his way back this year.
No way. Although I loved Sean Payton giving him the smoke. Stop kissing babies.
Stop kissing babies.
Oh,
you're not fucking running for office. Like, I love the Real Talk Express. Now, on the OG podcast, Brooke Pryor, ESPN, we talked about this with her. And Joe pointed out, look, now Russ didn't do great with the last Straight Talk Express, Tom O'Brien. But the truth is, Dana Bible was his position coach, was his offense coordinator at NC State. And there ain't nobody who's more Straight Talk Express than Dana Bible. And do you know to this day who Russell Wilson still works out with in California? Dana Bible. So I actually think that Sean Payton will have a little more luck with Russell Wilson than others might from the outside. I also think Russ was humbled last year for the first time ever. Because he was that hot shit at Richmond Intercollegiate in high school, winning this, winning that. Everyone telling him he's this and that, right? Even though he wasn't recruited by whoever. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
He gets to state. We've covered that. We did a whole thing about that. Let's not even get into all that. Gets to Wisconsin, they win the Big Ten, they go to the Rose Bowl. Gets to Seattle, wins a job over Matt Flynn, makes a bunch of money, wins the Super Bowl, becomes, Mr. Unlimited. But for the first time last year, he played like shit, and he wasn't good, and he wasn't who he was. He didn't run the football. He needs to get back to running the football. I think Sean Payton's going to put him in a position to have success. I think he's embarrassed when you catch strays on social media from the Ravens kicker, like completely out of left field, that knocks you down a peg. Forget all the other stuff from Richard Sherman and all the others. Forget all that other stuff. That's all legitimate, by the way, but just forget all that. I'm talking about being embarrassed by your peers. And you might not even consider the kicker your peer,
Oh, hang on. Justin Tucker? We're talking Justin
We are just not. You never saw the video of him talking about Mr. Unlimited?
There is an argument that Justin Tucker is a top 5 NFL player in his time.
Of all time, or
in
his
time,
Okay.
during his era.
Oh, I mean, I think he's a Hall of Famer. There's only one of the king of there.
There is no, 100% a weapon. So I mean, it's not like having, it's not just anybody. Justin Tucker's got some street
This is a long way of me saying
for a kicker.
The number is 219.5. I think Sean Payton puts him on display. I think Denver wins this football game. I think Russ has himself a night. And I think they're on their way. Not on their way to what? I don't know. Respectability probably is all this is about. But, and I'll tell you this, if they don't come out and show out in that first game, it's a wrap, and it ain't going to work. And if it doesn't work with Sean Payton as a quarterback, it's not going to work for you at all.
No, Sean Payton is one of the few guys, him, Andy Reid, Shanahan, those 3 guys, you get a quarterback, they can make a piece of coal look like a diamond.
They're also playing the Raiders, so I have a lot of confidence that they're gonna. I have confidence in this is a Sean Payton confidence bet. This is a Russ has been humbled and is embarrassed bet and wants to show you. He is obviously a talented quarterback. I don't think there's any question about that, even at 34 years old.
Now, can I sprinkle something in here? I'm going to just sprinkle something real quick because we talked about the lines, we talked about a lot of stuff. I am going to go ahead and sprinkle the future line here because DraftKings has Jets -1 point against Danger Russ in the future. Now, Sean Payton talked a lot of smoke about my squad. My squad's going to come in angry as hell. I put the money there. I guarantee you that line's going to shift in a big way. But I took the Jets in the future on that game. That's in October. Circle the calendar.
We're ready.
Bet it now.
And speaking,
I don't believe in Russ at all. 0%.
Not in that game, because I think the way that Payton talked about Hackett, I thought was out of bounds. I did not think was right. I did not think that was right.
You want to piss off.
And then you watched Hard Knocks, and you saw the way Rodgers and Hackett were kind of like, hey, it's not going down like that.
But Hackett, I tell you what, though, I thought Hackett, I like Hackett. In Hard Knocks, he looks good. He's connecting with the players. Yeah. He like keeps them loose, keeps them focused. Like, I liked Hackett as a guy. I like him. Sean Payton is gonna get his rear end kicked in that one. I don't feel great. I would be nervous as hell. That defensive line, Quentin Williams is going to destroy.
Now the Jets defense is legit, and then we saw this in the preseason where, they showed out in that preseason game against the Panthers, and people were like, well, it's the preseason. And it's like, oh, they're not showing any. The Panthers aren't showing it. And it's like, no, guys, the Jets defense is straight up talented. All right, let's get to our New York Jets, because we've got every week. You're a Jets fan. I'm tangentially, I'm interested in Aaron. So let's get to our Jets pick of the week. Maybe I can get Jonathan Rand to come up with a jingle for the Jets pick of the week. Jets are at home Monday night, just also happens to be 9/11, playing the Bills. The Bills are a road favorite, -2.5. If you're interested in the money line, sir, +125. Can I interest you in the money line in this game?
This is taunting me here. The money line is taunting me so hard in this game. I think the Jets win, although my father has a great adage: just take the damn points.
Take the points. I'm with you, Pops. I like the Jets to win this football game. I'm not going to take them on the money line, but I'm going to take them. I think they win. I think you're right. I think the Bills come back to the world this year. And just as I believe in Russell Wilson being embarrassed, I think Aaron Rodgers has a point to prove. And I think what the Jets have done on defense, when you looked last year, when they just had average quarterback play, they were 7-1. And basically they lost every other game that they played when they didn't have an average quarterback. Say whatever you want about Aaron Rodgers. He is not an average quarterback.
No. Even at the age, even in 5 years from now, he's not going to be an average quarterback. Today, oh gosh, I love it. And the defensive front is what really is going to disrupt everything. I love the front. How do you feel on you like the over under there?
The total in this game is 46. I'll tell you, I don't love totals. I don't like playing totals. I don't mind a team total. I don't mind taking like an individual side. You're basically betting on, like last week I had NC State's defense. Basically, I took Connecticut's under. So I don't mind a team total, but I just don't have good luck with totals.
Okay. All right.
I just one of those things I don't play well with. So Would you like to stick around and talk to Josh Goodson about college football bets? Or you got some work to do.
If as long as we could talk about one thing. Now, at the same bar that Ken calls his shots, I called my shot, Coach Prime. I want to talk Coach Prime with you. If he's here, I'm talking Coach Prime. You know I'm talking Coach Prime.
All right, hang on.
I believe.
To welcome in our college football expert, my mortgage expert. I know you're for sure the latter, not so sure about the former. Josh Goodson, RTP Mortgage. Look who it is. It's the pizza portion of this podcast. Aren't you like excited that he's finally here?
Yeah, it actually makes the whole podcast make sense. There's the pizza guys actually here.
Completing the circle. We're completing the circle.
The circle of life. All right, before we get into our picks, let's make sure that we pay the right bills because Josh, I don't know about you, but I don't know anything. I don't know anything about mortgages.
Yeah.
You know where I went? I went to RTP Mortgage. I went to Josh Goodson. So I'm not just telling you like, here, blindly go do this because somebody on the internet told me to do it. No, Josh is a real person. Josh actually understands this market. And Josh is an actual professional. So here's where you find him. Are we sharing? Is this, you can see it now, right?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Good. Josh Goodson, loan officer.
A lot more lighting in that picture than where I'm actually at right now.
Maybe you're wearing the same shirt though. I kind of like that.
To be fair, I've never seen a headshot actually look like the person. This is real. I believe in you.
This is a Pack of Wolf shirt. That was not the shirt in the headshots.
Oh, okay. So you're not, see, he's not trying to sell you anything phony, man.
No, he's legit. I believe now.
RTPmortgage.com. Yeah, man, the market's kind of crazy right now. Trying to buy a house right now can be kind of crazy, but you need to know your options. So give Josh a call. That's his actual phone number, 252-361-1415. That's 252-361-1415, or you can go to rtpmortgage.com and you have my personal endorsement that you're going to get the best rate possible and you're going to get the best options possible. Because how many times have I had to go to you for a refi, a little cash out refi action?
For sure. It's come to me. I like to tell everybody there's millions of mortgage people around here. We all kind of sell the same stuff. Just kind of like there's lots of pizza places that sell lots of pizza, but I think I'm here for the quality. I'm here for the service, right? I'm going to help you, guide you through it. It can be kind of a tough process with paperwork and whatnot, and so being local and being someone to pick up the phone and just help you out, make sure you know what you feel like you know what you're doing and know what you're signing off on is kind of what I pride myself in. And also just getting the best rate and terms, whenever that comes about.
Absolutely. Check them out. It's rtpmortgage.com. All right. Now we are here on Picks+Pizza. You know what that means? I am now surrounded by two Carolina grads. I am surrounded by two Carolina grads. This is awesome.
Now I want to thank intern Tanner for hanging the shelf behind me. As a side note, I was going to bring my diploma and just put it here. The only problem is intern Tanner did not use
the level.
He didn't use a level and he did not use anchors. That is not in a stud. It is at a 45-degree angle. This is going to fall and it's not my fault.
Could be problematic.
When we fix it, I'll have the diploma behind me. We already got the 05 Matt Doherty championship there behind me.
It's the Matt Doherty check. Get out of here. All right. So Josh, let's start with our locals. And we've got NC State taking on Notre Dame. It's a noon game. I think you're going to tell me this is a good spot to take on Notre Dame because everybody's on them for their 2-0 start in the way that Sam Hartman started. The line for this game is 7.5. Notre Dame is a 7.5 point favorite. From our bet of this game, who do you like in Notre Dame at NC State?
I like the total first off. I'll give a play on the side too, but I like the under. To be honest with you, I think the under was 51. I think the winner doesn't go more than 24. To be honest with you, State hasn't given up 30 points in over a year.
Total's 51. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think whoever wins, it's going to be 24-17, 24-14, something along those lines.
24-14 was my pick.
Yeah, but no, so I do like the total. If I'm going to pick a side. This is brain more than heart, Joseph. Before you get on me, 7.5 is a lot. If it was 6.5, I don't know if I would take State. 7.5. I mean, that's a normal.
You're saying State's going to fight. It'll be a low scoring game.
Yeah,
do you
I
think
actually think they can win. I actually do think they can win. I think they can win and not like have to play perfect to win. Also,
Okay.
I think Dave Doran the last 2 years, when State's been the dog at home, they've won 3 out of 4 games. They've covered all 4 games.
Covered.
They've won the game 3
Outright.
times.
Okay.
They've covered all 4 times. The last 4 times they've been dogs. I think one of those was a Clemson. I think the crazy Sam Howell UNC finish. Notre Dame. Wake Forest, I believe, last year.
Wake last year, for sure.
But they've only lost 2 games at home, basically, the last 2.
Yeah, one of them was the Boston College. The problem here for me is I don't like the matchup. Okay.
Sure.
I'm not going to overreact to the way that NC State played against UConn. They won the football game. I thought they were resourceful in the way that they won the football game with Brennan Armstrong, making the plays that needed to be played. He looked like, as Dave Doran said, he looked like a 6th-year player. And that's good. That's a good thing for State. I don't like that he had to run 19 times against UConn. I don't like that their leading receiver had 36 yards. It just all adds up to me. I don't believe in State's skill players right now, and I think you need special players who can pop and make plays. I think Notre Dame has 2 of those in their quarterback, and then Audric Estime, their running back. I think they win a low-scoring game. I'm with you on the under, but I'm going to go Notre Dame 24-14.
This doesn't sound like you.
I know. I literally have a podcast.
I saw a tweet yesterday, and it showed for people at home, you'll see a lot of different numbers being floated around, but there's 2 different kind of things that people track. The amount of bets placed on one side of a bet, and also the amount of money placed on. Because you could have 10 bets on one side for
but
$1,000.
Yeah.
But if you have one bet on the other side for 20 grand, then the 20 grand side is the one that matters the most because that's what the actual amount is. But as of yesterday, I think 93% of the bets placed were on Notre Dame. This is a U situation. I know you don't bet on NC State games. I know it's something from a billion years ago that you can't get over.
Yes, I can remember.
But this is a law. I feel like this is a law of the wolf. When you expect the least, you get the most type situation. I'm not.
Yeah, it could be.
It's hard to pick State to win outright, but I don't know. I thought you would a little bit more like. I thought you would have been a little bit more. This could happen type feel.
I'm also still embarrassed from that plane ride back from Notre Dame when everyone out of Midway on the plane was a State fan, and Dallas Woodhouse goes, "Oh, there's Joe Giglio. He picked State to win. Man, he was wrong. I wish he was right." And I was just like, I wanted to hide. After especially that game wasn't even really competitive. I don't think it'll be that. I do think they'll fight. And maybe you're right. Maybe I need the law of the wolf to kick in. Let's get to your alma mater now. This is an interesting one. They're hosting App State. Anthony, your alma mater as well. We got the Heels at home. This number has opened at 15.5. It's jumped to 18 in part because of an injury to App State's quarterback at the beginning of their win over Gardner-Webb. Also in part because they struggled a little bit with Gardner-Webb. But 18, Josh, what we know about App State and ECU when they play Carolina or when they play State, they show up and fight. I'm going to take all of those points and just hope App State can scrap out some scores and cover the number.
I'm sort of with you, but I think a more confident play is a first half UNC play.
Really?
UNC's 10.5.
Okay.
In the first half. I could see them coming out guns a-blazing. The crowd's going to be amped up from last week. It's actually going to be a good crowd over there, number one. And they're going to be excited because of what they just did to South Carolina. Okay. So I think that's just going to make a difference. And I don't know what's going on at App State, but I got alarmed a little bit that their win total before the year. Do you remember what it was? Did you even look at it?
Was it 4.5 or 5.5?
Like 6.5.
6.5.
But still, I still think of App State as a team that's just going to have 8 wins. They're going to
have improved, though. I will say that
they're going to get into the Sun Belt. Actually, is a lot better conference, a lot better teams. But just when I saw that, I was like, you know what? Maybe they're just, and I think we're going to start seeing this. Sun Belt teams, American teams, so on and so on. I don't know if App State lost a lot of guys in the portal, but those are the type of teams that are going to start falling. Not having the same amount of dudes they usually do. So
not a lot of guys, but they lost some key guys.
They lose enough in a team like that. They can afford to lose 3 guys. So I think UNC. I'm scared of App fighting. Kind of to your point.
Yeah, I mean that's where I would be. I'd be hesitant about the first half. especially because
I
everybody is
feel better
on
about the first
Carolina.
half. I feel better about the first half than UNC being up 24 in the fourth quarter.
Oh,
And
I see what you're saying. Yep, and then you get a little backdoor action.
I can see Drake May didn't play great last week. I could see them trying to do hey, let's get right and show that you can throw all over the field.
And he was amazing against App State last year for sure.
So
this is a get healthy game for him.
Could be.
Basically, I think UNC is going to be up by 2 touchdowns at least a half. It's kind of what I'm playing on this game.
All right, let's get into our lock of the week. Now, here's where I flash on the screen. We were both 1 and 2 last week. We got to improve, man. So now we're 1 and 3 on the season. So we need to improve our picks here. So let's go with the game we feel most confident with. I'm actually going to let Anthony make his lone college pick. He might be falling into a trap, or he might just be believing his eyes. Let's see what he's got.
I believe the whole way from before the season. I was there. I got Colorado merch back as soon as it was announced. I said immediately, Joe Giglio, why
you did. You were on this early.
Would you not sign Coach Prime if you were, one of these middle-level ACC schools going around in a circle doing absolutely nothing? The guy's going to bring eyes. He's going to bring players. And I tell you what, Drake May better have a good game this week because the Heisman may go to my guy.
Travis Hunter or Shedeur Sanders?
Travis Hunter.
You threw for 510 yards. Man.
But Shedeur Sanders, if you could do that going up, how about HBCUs, baby? I mean, you go from HBCU, you go up in there. That's some great talent. That's a big step up. And to play like that, Shedeur Sanders is a dude. And I also like the no captain thing. They're only dogs. I like that.
Dogs and leaders. Was that
dogs and leaders?
Yeah,
dogs and leaders.
Okay.
I tell you what, if Coach Prime called me a dog, whatever you need, Coach. Anyway,
so Colorado -3. You're saying this is also an anti-Matt Rule, right?
Oh yeah, I love Coach Prime and himself. I'm going to stop my love fest here for Coach Prime. I'm going to talk about one of the worst coaches in the business, Matt Rule, and I get to bet in the same game. It's the same game. Oh, give me -3. You got it. Here, take the points. I don't care.
I think I saw that this line. So how in like June or July they'll put out game of the year lines. They'll put out lines for future games, like not even just week 1. Like you can bet today on State UNC at the end of the year.
LSU Alabama, yeah.
The Nebraska Colorado number was Nebraska -9. So it's almost a 2 touchdown flip based on 1 week.
Yeah, you and I have talked about this before in college basketball, Josh. Early in the season, you can get a team on a wrong number. Obviously, Colorado, a 1-win team with some jabroni coaching them last year and a bunch of schlubs playing out the stretch. Their number's awful. So I even think this -3 number is a bad number. Now, everybody is on Colorado's nuts.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Everybody.
I don't like it. I'll be fair to the room. I don't like it, but I'll also be fair to myself. I called in the beginning. You got to just stick with your horse. The horse got me here. I'm going to keep riding.
And they got really good skill players, which has been a theme for me all college football season long.
And they'll be all right this week. It's the end of the month is where I need to see it. They got Oregon and USC back to back by the end of the month. So
I don't feel great against the USC. Listen, I'm a big Prime guy, but I mean, I don't know if he's going to take that. But Nebraska and Matt Rule, I saw Matt Rule. Come on, get this guy out of here.
All right, Josh, I need winners. Mike Singletary voice. I want winners. Give me your best bet of the week.
I don't love this because I don't like taking bad teams. Just preface that.
Oh. Okay.
I don't like taking teams that we know just aren't good. Virginia's coming home, their first home game of the year, their first home game since the tragedy last year. They didn't get to finish out their season. They play at noon. They're catching 6.5 points at home.
Virginia at home getting 6.5. Okay.
And you might be thinking they're playing someone like
Tennessee again. Yeah.
Purdue or like Illinois or somebody. No, they're playing James Madison. In-state team from Richmond. Now, James Madison's a pretty good Sun Belt team.
Harrisonburg, but yeah, go ahead.
Or Harrisonburg, sorry. They're a pretty good team.
They had a good year last year. Yeah.
Solid team. It's kind of 2 plays. I don't think that a James Madison type team should be laying 6.5 at an ACC
on the road. Sure.
On the road. They're used to thriving in the environment when it's the other way around. and not being the hunted. We get to see it here locally when ECU is somehow favored against State or UNC. It usually doesn't turn out well for the Pirates because they don't have the chip on their shoulder that they always have. That and just I can't see I just can't see UVA. They may not win the game, but I can't see them getting blown out by more than a touchdown in this environment with all the emotion going on, the team playing for it, for the players that from the tragedy last year. So Virginia 6.5 at home.
Yeah, I like it also because your best bet last week was Tennessee hammering Virginia. So at least you've watched Virginia after our New Mexico State and Hawaii debacles. I'm happy that we're at least betting on teams that we've seen. My bet this week, and we
also watched Virginia, and you were calling me about that game. Angry.
Yes, I was panicking.
Anthony, he's awful. Did you know this about Joe? If he takes a team, let's say to like win by 17, he doesn't understand that when the game starts, he's not winning by 17. And also there's not a 17-point play that can happen to automatically be covered.
Yes. Go for 2. Go for 2.
I was getting text messages from the man, and like it was 4 minutes into the game, and Tennessee was already up 7-0. I think he's like, "This isn't going to happen. I'm going to lose. This is not going to happen." I was like, "Dude,
relax."
Listen, guys. I am excited for the heartbreak loss that NC State will come up with this week. Not because I'm an anti-State guy. I'm a State guy now. But
this guy needs to sell pizzas.
I know what's going to happen, and that's it. And I know that Joe's going to be bombing me on. It's going to be at least a noon game, so it's not going to be.
I'll be there. So, all right. So I'll get us out of here on this. We've talked about dudes. I saw them at Florida State. That made me happy. Heck, I even saw some of them on Duke's team. They're both playing 1AA teams this week. Saw them on Colorado. I saw them on Texas too. I actually think Texas is going to go to Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama. I'm not going to take the money line, but I am taking the 7.5 points. I think Texas wins that game outright. I think the king is dead. I think both Clemson and Alabama are dead. And I think here comes Texas to rule the new roost. Like Sarkisian against Saban, I like their talent. I think they're the ones who are on the come up. I'm taking those points. And hopefully I'm taking them all the way to the bank because I drove to the border. And in addition to losing to Clemson, that was the one bet that I placed.
So who's the better athletic coach then? Who's the best athletic coach?
Stop. Don't even start with that.
Who is it? Come on. King is dead. Come on.
It is not your guy, Deion.
Oh, it's my guy.
Hey, Josh, let's do it again next week. All right. Thursdays?
Yes.
You can handle Thursdays at 1 o'clock.
I can.
All right, man. Perfect. Appreciate everyone for listening. If you're here on the YouTubes, leave your own picks right there. Subscribe, follow, tell us we're awesome because positive vibes only. And of course, follow us on Apple. If you look for the OG Media Company, you'll see all of our podcasts there. Big shouts to Oakwood Pizza Box. Big shouts to RTP Mortgage. And again, see you guys next week right here on Picks and Pizza.